Right, I've made a bit of a jig up for a bolt pattern. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes, and this is for the inside of the box because there's going to be a little drop down shelf that'll fit the BMS. I'll put a little bit of a fold on the end of it. I'll drill these out, always centre punch marks because the drill will wander. This will fit in like so, and that'll allow me to pre-drill all these 6 holes. It sounds a bit strange, but when you got to do both sides, as you see here, those 6 holes is 12 holes and 3 boxes. That makes, what's that, 36 holes I've got to drill, and I want to make sure they're all identical to each other. Just makes it easier for the other brackets that will go into here. So I'll drill these little bit of a jig out, and I'll continue drilling the SHS to suit for a riv nut. Righto, I've made a bit of a jig up. This is for the top of the box, and what I've worked out to be, if you look at these spacings here, right, I've got, which is 95mm apart evenly, and that measurement is worked out from the middle, 95 this way, 95 that way. They'll have holes drilled in the top, but in the bottom, or in the side actually, I've got to actually put some more riv nuts in the side. So I've made a little bit of a jig, and if you have a look at that, these holes that go in this side here, right, with the jig, are in between. So when you put a riv nut from the top, riv nut to the bottom, they don't line up, which is what you want. I'll put a little bit of an offset so I can get around the weld, and this template with 6 holes in it will allow me to drill. That single line there is actually the end of the shelf that fits inside. So the last hole that we use is right about there, which is probably whatever millimetre it might work out to be. So now that I've made this jig, I will drill these holes out, which is actually 6 on each side by 3 boxes, so 12, 36 holes to be drilled for riv nuts. There. Now I've drilled it with the jig, which is actually a 6mm hole. And what I've done is I need a 9mm hole because I'm going to put 6mm riv nuts, and you need a 9mm hole to put that little insert in there, what it is, and there are different lengths for different thicknesses of material. So it's a 9mm hole, 6mm thread in it, and I've got a little rib nut gun here. Is what it looks all right, and all we do now is put that in the hole and squeeze the handle, and that'll put a nut in to that hole, so you can put a bolt in it. Very simple, very effective. Righto, now that I've drilled those holes out, I'll put riv nuts, or riv inserts as some people call them. You can get a bit of a focus on that. Yeah, so you can see why the jig actually came in handy. So forth. That pilot is actually a 6mm pilot hole, and it'll be drilled out to 9mm, and then I'll usually use a 12mm just to take the burr off the 9mm hole when I'm finally done. And you don't have to put these riv nuts in straight away, but at least get the holes drilled, because it's a lot easier to get your arm in there to drill them than when you want to put this this side in here. Just less effort, and yeah, you don't have to sort of worry about anything later on. How you going? Ross Mitchell, up to another stage again. These are the side plates. I've got 6 side plates on 3 boxes, 2 per each. If we have a look at a bit of a tape measure, it comes up to about 336 roughly, and 836. Sorry, let's go back again. 836, and we'll go across this way, and it's just under 350. What I've done, I've marked 24 mil in with a line, so I've got a crease. If we have a look at this one I've already done, and you can see where I've actually put a bit of a fold. It's actually a little bit over folded. I had to grind a little bit on the corner to allow the same radius as the actual RHS here, otherwise it sits up. A little bit of a rubber mallet comes in handy instead of using a metal hammer, otherwise you have little dimples and creases and God knows what on. It look like shit basically. I've just clamped these on. I've sort of tapped it down and clamped at the same time. Same as that clamp, and a bit of a tap with a rubber hammer to make sure it's all the way down. And you can see the double crease I'll put into the side. And what that does is stops it popping and stuff like that. So even though it's only a very fine crease, it'd be lucky to be, oh, what do we say, only a 10-15 mil crease on the whole lot, and that adds a hell of a lot to the strength. I will put little stitch marks around here, and a little bit of a gap, but they'll fill up all right. And what I'll do is I'll put a tack in between each one of these tacks. What I'll do just to secure it, and a little bit of weld on the inside. Yeah, so let's see how we progress.